What a blessing to have you today here on the Word of Encouragement here on this Friday. And I trust that this week is going well for you. What an opportunity we have each week. If you're listening from watching from somewhere other than Wisconsin, we are enjoying just pristine fall weather. It's not even fall yet, but man, it's just great, and we're enjoying it. And these are great days to serve the Lord, great days to get out and tell people about Jesus. Well, today I'd like to look at chapter 6 of Galatians, verse 1. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. One of the best ways to not allow discouragement to come in is to be involved in being a blessing to other people. We are to not think negative thoughts. We are not to say negative things, as Ephesians chapter 4 very clearly states. We are to be edifying one another. In fact, in Ephesians 4, it also states earlier that each one of us, as we allow our gifts to function, one of our primary purposes is to minister so that we can edify one another. And so if you see someone overcome with a need, with the flesh, it happens. We all face that. We should then check our own heart. Are we truly spiritual? Now, sometimes that term spiritual is thrown around in a generic way. It's not just somebody that has a good heart, that's been faithful as a Christian. That's a spiritual person. Well, you got to not use that term lightly. Spiritual means spirit-filled, where the Spirit of God is controlling that person, and they are not yielding to their flesh. Their mind, will, and emotions are under the control of their spirit, which is born again, and the Spirit of God is in control. That's kind of an important matter. We're either in the flesh or we are in the Spirit. There's no in between. It's not 60-40, 80-20. It's 100% or zero. And so many times people think they're spiritual when actually they are not. They are carnal. And so if someone is struggling, we then, if we're walking in the Spirit, and that ought to be what is our motivation, we need to do what we can to restore someone in a spirit of meekness, not trying to demand our rights, but with a humility, with a sweet disposition that is led by the Spirit of God, trying to help someone and not let them hurt themselves, because Satan is obviously endeavoring to overcome them. And we've got to understand, when we're trying to help somebody else, we've got to consider ourselves, because we've got to not think we're something when we're not, and then be tempted by Satan ourselves and fall into a trap. But I just wanted to give this verse because, as I've often said, one of the greatest ways out of being discouraged is to be a blessing to someone else. Get our eyes off of ourselves and look to the Lord to so walk with Him that you can gently but appropriately be a help to those that are under your care or that you know. We need one another. And when we get our eyes off of ourselves and on others, it just changes everything. I was just reading 1 Corinthians 13 a few days ago, and that passage just makes it very clear. Don't be focusing all the great things you're going to do spiritually. Love one another. Love is the highest of all things. And we need to be living selflessly and sacrificially and do all that we can to be an instrument of God to meet the needs of others and help them have victory and love them into a place in which they are walking with God. Sometimes I'll have heavy weights as a pastor, obviously, but then I have a privilege to work with someone, counsel them, or I'm out visiting, and then God works and God meets that need. I don't care what I was going through. I am rejoicing. There's nothing like being part of meeting someone else's need and seeing them restored, and God doing it. It was obviously God to do it. What a privilege. What a great reason to live. And that's what God wants you to be involved in. So if you find yourself overwhelmed, think of someone you can help. Be a blessing. Get your eyes off of yourself. Pray for, if nothing else, pray. That'll make a great deal of difference. Intercede. And I promise you, you'll get into the heart of God, and that will keep you free from Satan's attack, and God will keep you encouraged as you want to serve others by his power.